It, it cost me a lot in the music business because of my lifestyle and because of.
Imagine a man who spent his childhood in prison, who slept in a hearse parked outside a famous music hall, who the entire music industry tried to ignore, and yet somehow became a legend that outlaws, bikers, doctors, and lawyers all claimed as their own. That man was Allan Coe. And by the end of this video, you'll understand what his final days looked like, and what his last video reveals about the outlaw who never once bent the knee. But first, I have to share something that just broke. Allan Coe has recently passed away. He died on April 29, 2026, just yesterday at the age of 86 in an intensive care unit. The news hit the country music world like a freight train. In this video, we're going to talk about his last video before death, what his final days looked like, and what his incredible life tells us about one of the most extraordinary human beings to ever pick up a guitar. His life story sounds like something someone made up. Born in 1939, sent to reform school at just 9 years old, he spent most of his childhood behind bars, but it was inside those prison walls that he found music. They could lock him in a cell. They could take everything away from him, but they couldn't take away the songs forming inside his head. And when he finally got out in 1967, he had nothing. No money, no home, no connections. So he drove a hearse to Nashville, parked it outside one of the most legendary music venues in the world, climbed on top, and started playing for strangers walking in and out. That right there tells you everything about who Allan Coe was. He didn't just become a musician, he became a force. He wrote songs that other artists turned into massive hits. He gave the world the ride. He created one of the greatest working man anthems ever written. Real people loved him, bikers, cowboys, hippies, regular folks who felt unseen. When radio rejected him, he didn't tone it down. He never apologized. He just kept going. But wait, let me ask you something. Have you ever watched someone's last video and realized they had no idea the world was about to lose them? Because in his final months, Coe was photographed inside a studio, still working, still creating. His last videos showed a man who had survived a serious respiratory illness, years of declining health, and was still reaching for the music. He wasn't fading away quietly. He was still fighting. So if you take just one thing from this video, let it be this. Allan Coe turned poverty, prison, and rejection into one of the greatest careers in American music history. His last video before death wasn't a goodbye. It was a man who simply never learned how to quit. The original outlaw, 86 years of refusing to be silenced. Rest easy, legend.